Hello everyone, welcome back to the ESL Vainglory Cup Series. I'm Jason Kaplan, still joined by Don John, not messing up at all since the first couple of tries. And we've got another great match coming your way today. It's going to be Team Collab up against Red Team 1, the sister team or brother team, depends on how you want to look at it, the team that knocked them out in the last cup when it was Red Team 2. And we're actually finally going to take a quick look at the brackets for you guys at home. Just going to get that on your screen once I do organize it all pretty and nice and stuff. And we're going to look at a couple of the teams, a couple of powerhouse teams who are really rising to ranks in the form of Vainglory, making their way into the quarterfinals again. They actually got 4th place in the last cup.
Yeah, and they're looking up versus Team Crushed. There we go.
Crunched.
You're right. It's Crunched, actually?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Or Eternal Darkness B.
Yeah, and then we have Victoria's Secret actually get the win over Red Team 2 in their round of 32 game, so that was really unexpected. But they actually running with their full lineup this time with Vini Vici. Last time they had 2 of the 3, so they didn't, I guess, perform as well. But they did play against Unknown as their first game, so it's a little bit difficult. And speaking of Unknown, they have made their way through into the round of 16. The team who has won cut number 1, looking to maybe make it 2 in a row. And of course, the game where we're bringing you is Collab up against Red Team 1. Really excited to see how this game's going to go. You know, again, you have the North American powerhouses up against European powerhouse. Ping might play a big issue. Again, we have Collab kind of a newer team. Chemistry hasn't really been nailed down too much. Well, if you look at the last game, though, you might not see that.
Yeah, all good players, but in terms of chemistry, I don't know if they are playing a lot together. Fuji and Toff as well, they are playing on Nemesis normally a lot together. And we're actually seeing the players picking right now. And just to mention that, as we are seeing them picking all Scarf at the moment, Scarf is actually double banned again.
Yeah. So a nice little troll coming in there by them. But it looks like the side of Collab going to go with what worked for them last time. Go with the same comp.
Yeah, stick to it. I mean, never change.
Don't tell me Red
team.
Wolf doesn't know that he can't play Scarf.
I hope so.
I would just be the biggest facepalm ever if he locks that in.
Come on.
We'll just remind you guys at home, we are running a 3-minute delay, so the game, the game as you will see it now has already started for us here in the studio. So there's no way that these teams can see each other, what they have picked in, and so on. But
I'm afraid, hopefully he's not picking that.
If he does, I will probably hit my face against the desk. Probably, I didn't say I would.
Red Wolf, please lock that.
Please no. Please no.
What is he doing there? Waiting until the last second.
There we go.
Yeah, looks better.
We did see, picking Arden into this. It's going to be interesting to see when you have Cruel behind that. Looks like we're going to be starting the matchup. Any guesses of who you're favoring in this one?
Yeah. No, it's difficult to be honest.
Okay.
Well, I like how Red Wolf and Jetpacks worked together the last times when I saw them playing. Like I mentioned already, the Cruel is probably like Jetpacks is probably going for an not an aftershock. In quick, help me out. Do you know the item? I forgot the name of the item.
Don't even throw me into this one. You got yourself in there. Don't pull me in with you.
Oh, Shiva Steel. There we go. Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, maybe going for
I do that.
Maybe going for the Shiva Steel, and yeah, to get Red Wolf the possibility actually using his famous Ringo on Deathstream a couple of times. So this Shiva Steel basically helps Red Wolf to put drilling Silvers down, like a lot of auto attacks, and maybe some Achilles shots. So will be interesting what Fuji, Toff, and Iraku Soro will have to say in that match.
Keep in mind, Red Team 1 did get 3rd place in cut number 1, beating out Vainglory. And then we have, unfortunately for Collab, they didn't get that far. They got knocked out in the quarterfinals to Red Team 2. So Collab trying to get a little bit further this time than they have in the past. Ping might cause an issue. Again, chemistry might be something that you have to keep in mind. That's one thing that really limited them when they played against Red Team 2. They're individually great players, but Red Team 2 have been playing together for such a long time that their synergy and knowing how each other play really helped them pull through.
Totally agree, but at the moment for Collab, it's not really. You didn't really see that they do have higher lags or higher or connection problems. Anyhow, at the moment, it seems quite smooth. What Toff and Irakizuru and Fuji are doing down there. Jetpack's actually getting pretty low here. Sonic Zoom coming in, and Echo actually slowing him down. He uses his Spectral Smite there to survive another second, but first blood for Collab.
Good start again, and this is something we saw in the matches prior with Wild Panthers and Aegis. You know, they just kind of stick together as a team. Well, when Wild Panthers did, they stick together, they group up, and they pick up kills. Like they shove the lane out in the top lane, and then they kind of just force a fight or force a catch. I think is something that we can kind of agree on. But 1 kill. I mean, they have the lead. They have the start they wanted. But the game's not over. I think Red Team 1, being an experienced team like they are not going to really be too much too scared or too frustrated by that.
That's just 1 kill, right? That's not too bad.
I mean, how many times did I feed kills over when we were playing together and we still won?
Yeah, you carried us.
Did I?
Sometimes. So we do see.
Quickly change topics.
Yeah, let's change topics. Since Ari and Jetpacks are going to run into tough, and Fuji here we do see Trilling Death actually.
Oh my!
Jetpacks
They're both
going
dying
down
so quick.
Yeah, that's so much damage out of Fuji there. Only on a oh. Actually, already on an Eclipse Prism. He just bought that in the jungle job. He started with a Crystal Bit, so already kind of deathly here. There's a Scout Trap revealing him as sneaky, enemy jungle.
Well, you saw the trap they set there too. They have, was it 3 scout traps, and right when they walked in, it's like, all right, slow them so they can't escape, take a huge amount of AoE damage.
Yeah.
And that investment, I mean, it can work out well. It can also work out really bad. That's a lot of money to invest. That's what, 150 gold out of your pockets to put down for this potential gank that might not work out, but luckily for them, it does.
Yeah, and then they were able to pick up some jungle farm as well, which is making it even more worth in terms of gold in the end. So we have 2 kills for Team Colab at the moment. Looks like, yeah. Nothing really happened yet, but
I love this.
What in particular?
Oh, is that he's freezing the lane nearest turret, so it's forcing Red Wolf to run out of the bush to last hit if he wants to, instead of just AoE clearing with his B abilities. So he's forcing Red Wolf to face him and to get a little bit far out than he maybe would have wanted to, which could catch him out and pick up a kill. So definitely trying to apply this pressure, and that's those little subtleties you'll see in lanes and in jungle that can really make you from a good player to a great player.
Yeah, he's actually though having a Scout Trap in his pocket at the moment, not using it quite now. Red Wolf, I thought he's going probably to just Scout Trap that bush to see if there's actually someone waiting on him. But you see Team Colab already aggressive again, actually roaming perfectly into the spawn of the minions of Team Red. So nothing much to do for Team Red at the moment in their own, jungle.
So they are grouping up in lane, trying to shove that out, maybe keep up in levels and in terms of gold, but they've been investing a little bit into flares just to spot these spots in Zero. I mean, that's a smart play to send, Arden in first since he can't get the dash away, but you can just see the pressure applied. Like, Red just does not feel comfortable in their own jungle at all.
Yeah, they want... Well, he just tried to get at least vision back into the Tribush, but, well, it's getting popped as soon as they see that someone is actually putting a Scout Trap in there when you're sitting right next to it. So Fuji and Tough both sticking around there again. Jetpacks 80 again going in. 80 actually has a tank getting a lot of damage, and he will go down to Fuji's hands. And this is a 3-0. And actually Iraqi Zero just died in the lane to Red Wolf. Red Wolf will be able to survive this one since Jetpacks sticks around. Oh, actually! What did I just said? Nice Spectral Smite to trade that back there from Jetpacks, but didn't expect Fuji to dive that.
Yeah, I don't think even his team did, because there was kind of like no support from him. But he picks up the kill, trades for, or I guess 2 for 1 there. I guess we can call it was a little bit late, but finally Red Team 1 able to get on the board. Again, levels going to start to really play into effect. Iraqi Zoro at 5. But credit to Red Wolf to be able to win out on that 1v1, and more importantly, gain some sort of lane dominance back. Like we saw the lane being frozen to Iraqi Zoro's own turret, which really kind of put a lot of pressure on him, for Red Wolf to come out and farm. But just with him being able to do that, gets a little bit of control, makes maybe Iraqi Zoro play a little bit more passive. And you can already see Red Wolf sitting very healthy up against Iraqi, who's half HP.
Yeah, and he's also already on a heavy steel and a Sixth Sense, so his auto attacks are already quite dangerous, especially that Iraqi Zero has no health item yet, so he's quite squishy. Still quite squishy. And no real tank there in their team as well. As we have 80 on the side of Red, trying to get some nice barriers on the teammates with his A skill.
It seems like he's investing most of his money into these scout traps and flares just to get some sort of control back, and that's going to make him, again, not as tanky. They're going to catch it Red Wolf, but Fuji, fortunately, on the other side of the wall, going to be forced back so low on life. Jetpack's able to help pick up the kill as Arden, 80-0, getting the kill, and they will turn on to Toph with the ultimate. Red Wolf trying to go head-to-head against Iraqi, and he'll be forced to run away, and God, they're not done for it now. They're looking for Zero, and he might fall from this one. The scout trap going to help. He's going for the dash for the wall, but Jetpack wasn't in the right position to help out, and that will be a 1-for-1 trade. And the other thing is Fuji has respawned back in, but most importantly, the gold mine, it will be picked up for Collab.
Again, Collab picked the team fight in a place, even if it was a 1v1 trade, they were able to push them back because they went low life. And with that, Ardagio, which has such a good heal already, they were able to sustain and actually push them into their jungle and get the gold miner in the end. So it's totally worth for them in terms of gold and pressure on the lane. I mean, you can see there are lots more green scout traps in the Kraken pit, or soon to be Kraken pit.
And they do have a 1,300 gold lead too. Maybe they're looking to catch out another person as they're going for the evades yet again. Toph not much mana. Ultimate isn't online for him just yet, but they're doing some good damage to Jetpacks. He's going to dash in. The Deadman's charge, a little bit of a mistake, I would guess, on his part, as he will fall now. And again, picking up kills just left and right, just every little advantage that they could possibly get. And they're forcing Red Team 1 to, again, play passive. 80-0 is at level 4 compared to Toph, who's at 5, who's almost 6. You know, this goes back to just levels.
Yeah.
Like, he's have his ultimate online, and when he starts to pop the AoE stun, if he can land it, that's just a complete shutdown for Red Team 1, who needs to be mobile, who needs to get away, especially if you're Red Wolf playing Ringo. Yeah,
and you see those smart scout traps. It's a really common scout trap, but it's granting you so good vision. Like you see when they're not even in the tribush, you see when Team Red is approaching to go for gold miner maybe, or just try to get some vision back. So that's kind of a good move. Really common, but I like to point it out. Those good scout trap spots. And it's not getting picked up right now, so
maybe they'll spot it eventually.
Yeah, they saw jetpacks coming there.
In terms of items, though, I think we should maybe talk about that a little bit, because I'm seeing something picked up by Iraqi Zoro that's, I believe, something we haven't seen in a while.
The Eve? No.
The armor and the resist that he's getting.
Oh,
I don't actually know the name of it off the top of my head.
The light armor? You're talking about our Iraqi Zoro?
Yeah. Okay, never mind. That's just me seeing the wrong thing.
Oh.
I guess.
Well, basically going for that. Well, I'm not quite sure actually why he's doing that. Maybe because of jetpacks.
That doesn't build into reflex block, right?
No.
Okay, yeah, then that's why I'm wondering why we're seeing it, I guess.
Good question there.
I'm trying to remember the name of what I'm thinking of. Why don't you continue while I find this out in my head?
Are you thinking of an item which he could build out of it?
Yeah. What he's going for with it.
Could be an Atlas of Polrin.
That's what it was. Yeah, if the attack speed slowed, which would be pretty nice.
Fuji, you getting a nice bundle of damage there, but there's a nice counter by Iraqi Zoro and Yami getting fancy onto Red Wolf actually. Jetpack still alive. Full stacks on Spectral Smite there on Iraqi Zoro, so this might be actually an ace for Team Red if they will be able to connect. There's a nice Vanguard coming in, getting slowed by Impulse, but there is another Deadman's Rush. His ult is not up, it's another minute, so this is actually not an ace, but a triple kill for Team Red.
Well done by Red Team 1 to really fight their way back in that. Great catch. They still pretty far behind in gold, but this should help that out a little bit as they do approach that 10-minute mark. 80-0 just popping the ultimate down just to block them from possibly stealing it away or stopping them from taking it away. When you can see their health or their HP, a smart move on his part.
Yeah, so of course the other supporter makes a lot of sense, especially if you see that attack speed by Jetpacks right there and how fast he stacked actually onto Iraqi Zoro. Even after he lost that stacks, he stacked it so fast back again that he were able to Spectral Smite him down.
Well, he's currently at 3-3-1, so definitely helping carry his team in kills and on 50% kills. I'm trying to think of 4 out of 6 what percent that is, but I'm way too slow for that. I'm not good at math, especially on stream. That's the most difficult part.
Yeah, I agree. That's totally, like, it's something different to do that live.
I mean, I could just calculate it out, but that would just not be as cool. But either way, about to hit the 11-minute mark. Goldmine was recently traded over, so won't have that much gold to offer. And it seems like Collab are hitting a little bit of a brick wall. They're seeming to trying to figure out what's the next move, what's the next thing they could possibly go for. Red Team 1 has caught up in gold by quite a bit, down only 600. They've caught up in levels too, Just slowly tying things up, but Toph still has that 1-level lead over 80-0. But more importantly, Arden, he now has his ultimate, like, finally online to use in these fights.
Yeah, he just used it to secure the gold miner there. And actually, we do see in Breaking Point finishing on jetpacks, and we mentioned already a couple of times how fast he already stacks his spectral smites on those carries. And even on a Breaking Point, which is granting him even more crits and damage, that's going to be amazing, actually. Let's see, 80-0 getting pounded here. We do see an engage by Red Wolf ulting Fuji here for a second. Toph is actually getting down, and there's a nice reflex block blocking actually Fuji's Yummy Kitten Frenzy. Fuji is not down yet. Jetpacks actually uses his Deadman's Rush to survive, and a health hurt.
The stun?
And the Spectral Smite. It's an ace,
wow,
actually.
that stun just saved his life too. So well done by him.
Nothing left on health. Like, you see that Deathmatch Rush perfectly timed, like in the last second, literally. Using it to survive it, then pulling that knife out, basically, and throwing it. And we're able to ace Team Colab and picking up the first tower in the game.
And now back at full HP. So he's not going for the Shiver Steel. He's not going for the slow. And that Deadman Rush and a Spectral Smite, like you're saying, just making him almost impossible to kill, it seems.
Okay, I might have a strange question, but how, what do you like? How do you like that in Vainglory, actually heroes are getting health regenerations if they ace an enemy team?
It helps speed up the pace. It helps really kind of, not snowball, but reward teams for getting an ace too. Like, if you're going to fight and you're going to commit your whole team, if you ace them, that gives you, like, potentially, what, one turret or a gold mine or a Kraken.
So you could even sacrifice one of your team members for an ace because you get that health back and you can push a tower with 2 people.
Yeah, and it helps speed up games and doesn't drag them out. You know, the better team will typically win in those situations too, because if you're the team that makes the mistake, you know, there goes the potential ace and the team can push on you. We saw that just earlier with the Wild Panthers Aegis game, where Aegis had the lead for the majority of the game, but Wild Panthers were able to come back just off some really nice timed aces, and we even saw Unknown doing that quite a few times in cut number 1. So a lot of pressure,
yeah,
a lot of potential out of it too.
Oh, Fuji going in here, getting a little boost there by Toph, but actually the target is Toph again. He reflex block. He's out of a bad spot there, but the Vox ultimate.
The gold mine picks up a kill.
Yes.
The gold mine is just...
And it's now an ace, actually. Iraqi is left alone and is now revenging that gold miner there, because he just killed one of his teammates.
That'd be funny if, like, he got just like a buff every time he killed someone and made him that much harder to kill, or makes him hit that much harder too. Toph, unfortunately, was the victim of that, but well done. And they do finally pull it back. Again, it was looking a little bit interesting. It was looking a little bit tough, but they do finally secure the ace themselves. They secure the gold mine, and they secure another turret on top of that.
Yeah, that's lots of gold, right? So MVP gold miner in that team fight, maybe?
I mean, I'd say if Red Team 1 won the fight, then yeah. But unfortunately, they didn't. Okay.
Well, I love those kills actually out of gold miners and scout traps.
Trying to actually see.
What? That's a
okay. The coat of plates. I was trying to wonder exactly what that was. So shield armor helps out quite a bit. It's just curious to see, you know, a carry like that or a sniper build an item like this. Like, we haven't really seen it. Usually you typically see health out of it, but cool to see.
Do you understand the armor on it? Like, why he's buying it right now?
Yeah, for Ringo.
Yeah.
And also, if he turns into the Atlas Pauldrons, it helps quite a bit.
By the way, we do see another wonderful wait for it there, actually securing 2 kills here, and Red Wolf is on the run, but the second attack, the second auto attack out of the Sonic Zoom from Irakisuru. Yeah, another ace. Actually, we saw 2 aces from Team Red and now 2 aces from Team Colab. And they will probably be able to push that turret down, since we have still 3 seconds left on 80-0, and he will not be able to connect fast enough.
And you saw them sacrifice Fuji a little bit to go for the ace, like you were kind of mentioned before. And they get it, and they get a turret off the back.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming once he turns that coat into Atlas Pauldrons, it's meant, well, it's nice for Ringo, but I think it's meant for jetpacks to slow him down because of those stacks, like you're saying. He gets the stacks of his Spectral Smite so quickly, the 65% attack speed reduction is going to be like, okay, well, you're not going to get your stacks as quickly, you can't burst me down as fast, thus I get more attacks off and have the potential to escape. So we'll see how that kind of works out for him.
Okay.
Actually, I like that item against a Cruel. I think it's ideally meant for Cruel. At least in my head, that's how I see it.
I would agree, yeah. So she is here, and both teams are sticking around for sure because it's probably a good thing for Red right now to focus that Kraken because they have actually one tower less and there's more pressure on their lane at the moment. And we do see, actually, we never pointed that out yet, we do see a minion miner picked up by Team Collab, so they want the pressure. Maybe they want their minions to push into at least the next tower of Team Red, so they maybe have the time to pick up Kraken.
I see it like that, and then also the possibility that they want to shove the lane out, so then they force Red Team 1 to lose control of their jungle because they have to go back and clear the wave out. Like, if they'll have to send at least Red Wolf back. That means it'll be a 3-on-2 fight, which Collab should win any day, and then that gives them, more control of the entire. I would assume Red Team 1 would pick up their own minion mine to kind of counter this to even it out, but then again, they're also getting a lot of free gold from this too. So Collab are kind of on a time.
Yeah, Jetpack's going in here. He's getting actually Yummy Captain Frenzy and a wait for it on top. He has no chance to survive it, and Red Wolf will go down as well, and this is going to be a Kraken and approximately at least one tower. Well, we have death timers of 23 seconds. So, and we do Fuji, smart move, already running and shoving the lane even further. Meanwhile, Toph and the Iraqi Sora are picking up that Kraken, and she's going to push those towers now. And probably Fuji will pick up the tower, even the first tower, even before she's able to connect.
And have you noticed the difference in the fight? How we've seen Collab change it up. So instead of popping ultimate from Fuji onto Red Wolf, they're going for Jetpack. So it's like, how do you stop a Cruel from chasing down your carry and sustaining so much with his Spectral Smite? Well, he ultimate kill him in the time that he's stunned.
And then he got a Yummy Kitten Frenzy. He mounted in on a reflex block because I don't know what he thought he would get hit in his face, probably a Yummy Kitten Frenzy, but actually Fuji waited a second, used it, and then the waited for it on top. He couldn't cast anything after that, so he couldn't use any Deadman's Rush to sustain. He couldn't throw his from Hell's Hurt, so no chance, basically, to survive that one. It's another time, a target and a Yummy Kitten Frenzy securing the kill onto Jetpacks, who went way too deep. Kraken is going to kill another tower, another ace, and this is going to be the end of Team Red. So both Team Reds are getting kicked out, and Team Collab moving on.
Well done by them. I mean, it all goes back to the adaptation that they were able to make in those team fights. They did lose a little bit of control in the game, but as you saw, in the end, it didn't matter. They were able to just carry their way through and did a fantastic job. I just want to see quickly, you have 9-3 for Rakizero, 7-6 for Fuji. Well played by all of them, and you can see like their items at the end too. And Atlas Bulgins actually weren't even finished off because I felt like he didn't even need to. Went for the 2 infusions instead.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, well done by them. And that means they're going to move on to the next round. I'm actually going to check the brackets really quickly to see if they have been updated and see what game we potentially will be going up to
Unknown.
next.
Moved versus House of Baliatios, and and they are now playing versus OAK.
Yeah, I'm going to show the brackets really quickly for you guys at home just so you see what we're looking at. So we had Unknown, like I said, pick up the win versus Hout against House of Batiatus.
That's a difficult one.
Batiatus.
I'm glad that you're not even getting it.
It's
that experience.
I would say it's not English, but they're an American team, so I can't use that as an excuse. Oak and XCTN. Oak did pick up the win. They're playing against Unknown currently, I believe. Collab got the win versus Red Team 1 and advanced into the semifinals. On the bottom side, Fitzbellin did pick up the victory versus Walkers, like I think what we said before we actually started this game. Eternal Darkness B picked up the win versus Team Crunched, and Team HC beat Wild Panthers, so an Italian team coming out of the blue, taking out a pretty strong team.
Team HC versus Victoria's Secret. That's a nice one.
Yeah, so a lot of good games happening. I believe the game we're going to after this is going to be none other than Collab up against Unknown, assuming Unknown win.
Right.
Is what we're...
That's what we are expecting.
I mean, it sounds bad to say it like that, but we're assuming Unknown's going to win, and that's the game ideally that we'll be going to. We'll let you know otherwise, honestly, via the screen that we have pop up for you guys at home. But some great games. It's cool to see Collab, get further than they were able to before, and I think if they pick up a win in the semis, they will almost be secured a spot into the finals on June 12th.
I like to see new names up here.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right, guys, we're going to head to that quick little break. When we come back, we'll be kicking up our semifinals. It'll be Collab up against Oak or Unknown. We'll see you then.